Hey guys, this is Bob with Pantheon, and today we're going to be slicing some production parts. We use Pantheon Slicer, which is a fork of Slicer. We're going to just go ahead and import our production parts. These are all STL files. Make sure when you export them, they're at the highest quality you can because your printed part will always be limited by how high quality the file is. We use the auto arrange because it generally gets things into a good place. There's this one little outlier here, so we're going to just rotate it and shove it in somewhere where it takes up less space. We just bring that out a bit. This fits in pretty well to that hole. And we can just go ahead and select all and just kind of center that whole mass again so we have a bit of a brim around. Now that those are all there, we're going to select the material. It's already on CFPETG, which is kind of our standard material that we use for almost everything on the printers. It's good to about 70-80 Celsius. It's 50 megapascals tensile strength, and it gets really good feature detail and printability. Now we have nylons, but they're really reserved for like high impact and high temperature applications. The last thing is the print settings. I always double check these, but our default settings of 6, 8, and 8 with 40% infill is like the kind of the diminishing returns curve of adding more material. This is a really good starting place for most parts in terms of strength, weight, to print time. Lastly, I'm going to look at the support settings. Now, most of these parts don't need supports. They've got features designed in, like built-in supports and like keyholing to make sure that once we print the parts, it all just works without much post-processing. So we'll disable supports, but there are two things on here, these two guys, that do need supports for these big overhangs. And we can just go and add only supports to these materials by enabling these separate support settings by right-clicking on them. And we'll just click Generate Supports automatically for those parts. We'll hit Slice Now, and this will take a couple minutes. Cool. Now that this part is sliced, I'm just going to go over and look around the model from all the different sides. I'm really just looking for any sort of like unsupported overhangs or weird tool pathing. Sometimes if STLs are broken, it can cause crazy things to happen here. But everything looks good. The supports look like where they're supposed to be, so we'll just go ahead and export it. And we'll just use the default file name. Once we're exported here, we can just go to a web browser, and this one's already connected to one of our local machines, and go to the G-code files, which we're already on, and upload it. Cool, once it's uploaded, you can hover the thumbnail just to make sure you've got the right file that you put up, and it looks good. And now whenever the machine's free, we can just right-click and start print. Right now, it's already doing something, so we'll just let that sit until it's ready.